All right, it looks like we're live. Hi, everybody. Today is Sunday, June 15th. This is the Pipeline Podcast. Last night, we were talking about the crazed Minnesota gunman. We were talking about Israel v. Iran and the No King's Day protests. We have some very good stories. Mostly they're just updates. Some other smaller stories kind of on the protests. We have a nice update on the Minnesota gunman. Sit down, pay attention. We got the juice coming up. Our first story tonight. This is a Reddit post from Conspiracy. The timeline is also legit. So we'll just read the title here. Netanyahu holds a chart showing Iran is right on the verge of nuclear weapons, except this photo is from 2012, over 13 years, and still no nuke. So this is kind of what I was talking about yesterday. Is the threat that nuclear weapons are being developed in Iran a credible threat when Israel claims that Iran is close to making nuclear weapons? We can't actually know if it's a credible threat because when they make that claim, you can't really believe them. If it was an independent country or organization that made that claim and said, here's the evidence, then we might be able to believe them. If Israel's just going to attack Iran and then claim, oh, it's because they almost have nukes, you just don't know if you can actually believe them. But either way, this is 2012. Here's the picture. It's just Netanyahu saying Iran is very close to having nukes. This isn't a new narrative. It goes back even way, way farther than even this. People have been saying that forever. Oh, Iran's developing nukes. They're going to nuke Israel. But who knows if they're even close to nukes. Maybe they have them. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're close to it. Who actually knows? What we do know is Israel is starting a new war. That's what we know. And as far as that conflict goes, right now they're just Iran and Israel are shooting missiles at each other. So that's fun. There's no invasion with tanks or troops or anything. It's just missiles. They're just bombarding each other, destroying infrastructure, killing civilians. We will cover that more in depth when there's more developments in the actual war and the retaliation. But for now, we're just talking about Netanyahu being super scared that big boy Iran daddy has nukes. And then we look at this comment here. Who knows if this is exactsies? People have been talking about Iran being close to nukes for forever now. And it goes all the way back to 1992. And it still goes until today. So this dude says it goes back to the mid-80s. Let's pull up the source. We're not going to watch a 9-minute YouTube video, but you get what I'm kind of trying to convey. This whole reasoning to attack Iran is ridiculous because why didn't you do it 20 years ago? Why are you doing it right now if you actually think they've been that close to having nukes this whole time? So it's just stupid, and do not let the United States get dragged into another war. That's the most important thing here. Enough of that. We will have more updates to that in the future. We have an update on the Minnesota crazed gunman. It looks like his wife got pulled over today with cash and passports in her vehicle. I haven't read this article. I just saw the headline and said, yep, we're going over that. So let's take a dive into it. Vance's wife was in a vehicle with other relatives that was pulled over in Onamia on Saturday. Bolter is suspected in the fatal shooting. But let's see. So his wife was in a vehicle that was pulled over. Passports and cash were found in the vehicle. There were several other relatives in the vehicle. But honestly, that's all it says. Well, that update sucked. I apologize. That's it. So his wife got pulled over. There was cash and passports in the vehicle, but it doesn't even say that it was his wife's cash or whose passport. Be more descriptive. The main update here is the gunman is still at large. He has not been found. Is his wife and family sheltering him? Maybe. I don't know. But that would be spicy and juicy if they were. But who knows? I feel like if they were, the police, when they pulled over, his wife kind of would have caught on to it. And they would have investigated her a little bit more. But, they're working on it. I'm sure we'll get more updates in the future. I can't imagine this guy doesn't contact his wife ever again. And he just, disappears forever. I doubt that happens. So we will follow the story. Hopefully it has some development soon because this guy is on the loose and he is going around. He has a list of 70 politicians or whatever, Democratic people that he wants to shoot, and he has not been found. honestly, we're just lucky that he didn't shoot anyone today. He's on the loose still. Our next story, we might have a conspiracy here, but it is an interesting story. So this goes back to yesterday. It was Salt Lake City at the No Kings protest. Basically what happened, this is like all of the article, but there was a dude that was about to open fire, and it looks like security shot him instead before the gunman like opened fire on the protesters. That's the story we're being told. Also, the security killed an innocent bystander, so that sucks a lot. This gunman went in trying to shoot people, and he ended up, like, one person died, but he didn't shoot him. So it was kind of crazy. What's fun about this is we do have a video here. We'll go over it a little bit, and I guess just tell me what you think. So this is the only source I found of the video of the shooting. I don't think that there is a better one. People say that some of these guys here do have cameras, but the footage hasn't been released. So as of now, this is the only footage we have. I believe the shooter is either this guy here or this guy here. It's one of these two people. I believe it's this guy here. What people think he was going to do is come up and start shooting these protesters, which was probably the case. There's 1, 2, I believe there's a third that you just can't see. These are like security guards, and they shoot this guy. But while they're shooting this guy, they kill one of these guys here, like accidentally. And so this is like a slow mode video, and we're just gonna play it so you can kind of see. It doesn't show everything, but this is the best video we got. And remember, this is the No Kings Day protest in Salt Lake City. This guy here, you can even see his rifle a little bit, I think. I think that's the shooter, or the guy that the would have been shooter that got shot. So it's a really slowed down video. So we see him, he's just walking right now, and it looks like this guy has a gun up already, but it could just be a camera. You really can't tell. But it kind of looks like this guy's holding like an M4 or a rifle. I don't even know. He pulls his hand up, you can see that. And then right there, that movement is a little weird. I wonder if they started shooting. But I don't think they did. But you see how he has both his feet down, so it's like he stopped walking. Maybe he's getting shot at, or they're telling him like, hey, stop. And then maybe it looks like he started running at the end. But either way, see, it's these guys here. And I think this is also a security guard because they have the same like vest backpack type thing on. It looks like 1 or 2 of these guys both have guns. And they end up shooting that guy, but they kill a bystander who was just sitting there. So that really sucks. And it makes it even worse because these guys aren't police. They're just like private security. So it's very interesting. It's super unique type of event. And especially to have some video of it, we had to cover this. I don't really know what to make of this. Obviously, this gunman, I'm sure he's like a conservative extremist trying to shoot all these protesters. And then end of story, he gets shot by the security. Except the security kills another one of these people on accident. So that was kind of a crazy story. Here's kind of like a statement from the Salt Lake City Police Department. So the bystander was a 39-year-old man. It happened about 8 o'clock. There's about 10,000 people at the protest. Basically, they found this guy crouching among a group of people with a gunshot wound. So he like got shot, the like shooter, the potential shooter, and then he went and like blended in with the crowd. Oh, is this the guy? Very weird. It looks like he did get shot like in the kidney. That could just be like a scrape. Can't really tell. It looks like a gunshot. Anyway, I don't think we're going to get any updates on this story, but it was just very interesting to me. I wanted to go over it. So let's take a look at our next source here. Oh, this is just a Trump supporter getting assaulted at a supposed peaceful protest. So anti-USA protester tries to rip a Trump flag out of a man's car. Let's just check it out. So yeah, she just tries to steal his flag. Keep in mind, it is like in the Constitution, it's like your right to be able to like voice your opinion and protest. So if someone wants to raise a flag, especially like out of their own property, their car, you can't take someone's right away like to do that. So what she just did could be seen as like fascist almost. Whatever you want to call it, it's not democratic, and it goes against the whole country. The whole like founding principles that the country's like created on, what she's doing right here. And even if you don't like Trump supporters, just keep that in mind, that this is the kind of thing that's unacceptable, as well as like trying to shoot protesters, is, you know, obviously. So we got more sources on just kind of like, it's just more updates from the No Kings protest. This is some kind of, I think he's like a streamer or something, and he goes in and tries to like start shit with these protesters, and he is successful, so they do assault him. Let's take a look at this. He's got like a Trump hat on or something. And he just got attacked by one of these protesters. We do have to point that out. You can't go around attacking people like that, obviously. We've said it 100 times before in these episodes covering the protests. As soon as you become violent, first of all, once you do that, you're not a protester, but also you kind of destroy the cause. Like, that's not how you get people to support your cause. When you want to like assault people because you disagree with them, that's kind of where you cross the line. And I don't think everyone like realizes that. Like, some people get so caught up with like Trump hate that they actually can't realize like what they're doing is wrong. Like, this girl actually, I'm sure she feels that she's doing the right thing here, but she's not. She assaults him, he hits her back in self-defense, and now there's just a mob. And, you know, imagine if this is a couple hours later in maybe like more of a shithole city. I mean, San Francisco's already pretty bad, but, you know, there are some other cities, like Chicago's a good example. Imagine if this happened at like 11 p.m. in Chicago. This guy might have got lynched by this mob. So like, things can turn violent and things will escalate. And even though that this man was assaulted, the mob, they all blame it on him because he's the one with like the Trump thing right here. You see this, his buddy's hat. He's got like the Trump hat on. So that's important stuff to point out. Super fun stuff. Let's take a look at our last source. Oh, basically, as of yesterday, Portland did say that the protests were riots. So we got a little video here. Basically what happened is an ICE facility was like trespassed. They like broke into an ICE facility. And I couldn't really find any good video on it. This source was all right. We'll just take a watch.
Live, this is breaking news on Portland CW.
And keep in mind, this is the United States here that you see. I know it might look like Haiti or something, or some war-torn country like Israel right now. But keep in mind, this is the United States. And so, like, that's just the first thing I see here. It's like, come on.
You're looking at a chaotic scene tonight outside of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement headquarters in South Portland. Protesters, federal agents facing off after protesters broke open the front doors.
A protester can't actually break open the front door of a facility. That would be like a trespasser, a criminal, a rioter, a violent mob. It would not be a protester once it turns violent like that.
I'm Lisa Balick. Welcome to the 10.
Whoa! What is her outfit? Portland is so different. I just want to see if we can find more video of like the actual facility.
Portland police have been going on this megaphone saying that that they're classifying this as a riot. Throughout
yes, because it is a riot.
ICE agents have been hurling these tear gas containers into the crowd.
Oh, here it is.
Some of the protesters
so look at this.
Firing them right back. One point, a tear gas actually came right in our direction, and I will tell you, I felt the full
Okay, we don't
effect.
need to listen to that lady talk. This is the juice right here. So yeah, they broke open the doors. ICE comes out in like full riot gear. Keep in mind, they don't have real guns. You're welcome for that. They declare it a riot because it is a riot. You can't break into, anywhere that you're not welcome. But especially an ICE facility, what do you think is going to happen? So yeah, this is just another instance of protests turning violent. So we covered the No Kings protests yesterday, but we didn't have as many sources on like instances of violence. And that's just because, it takes a while for these things to like come to light. So I didn't see this until today. That's really all the stories we have. Let's just kind of sum it up real quick. So we have Netanyahu still messing around with Iran. They're just sending missiles back and forth at each other. But we also have claims going back to, I believe, 1992 of Netanyahu saying, oh, Iran's going to have nukes in 3 years. But obviously they haven't. When he makes the claim now that Iran's close to nukes, he's probably statistically a liar, just like he has been this entire time. And he's just warmongering because he doesn't like Iran. That's most likely what is happening here. And he also wants to drag the US into the war because he doesn't want to do it himself, probably because he can't. Obviously, that's a bad thing. You do not want the United States to go to war with Iran. That's my hot take. It's not even hot, but that's my take. Update on the Minnesota Crazed Gunman. He has not been found. In Cash Patel, I would really like you to get on this a lot faster, please. When that one dude Molotoved the Jewish protesters at the mall a couple weeks ago, you were on that day one. Where are you, bud? This is important. There's a crazed gunman on the loose trying to kill politicians. He needs to go to jail. We got to find him. If you live in Minnesota and you like working for the government or something, you like making laws, stay safe. Dude's out here and he's crazy. So watch out for that. We also have the Salt Lake City shooter. Some dude rolls up to these No King protests in Salt Lake City with a gun, and he is about to start shooting everyone. Before he does that, there's a security, not real police, but security guards that see him pull out the gun. They shoot him, but in the process they kill just a normal protester, which sucks. I mean, it sucks that they shot him, but I'm sure that it sucks. But if they didn't shoot the gunman would have killed way more than one person. So keep that in mind. But yeah, these things can be scary. So you got to watch out for crazy fucking people that want to take matters into their own hands. That's the real issue. Then we just have a couple more examples, I guess, of the protesters not being peaceful. So we have here just people ripping a Trump flag off this guy's car, which you cannot actually do. We have a Trump supporter being assaulted at one of these protests. The video also claims he gets spit on as well as punched, but I kind of scrubbed through the video. I just saw him get punched. I didn't see him get spit on. Either way, though, he gets attacked. He defends himself from this girl who's just coming right at him and assaults him. And then the mob kind of forms around him like, hey, you got to get out of here, like it's his fault. But in reality, just because he's a Trump supporter doesn't mean that it's his fault at all. He didn't do anything wrong. And then we have our last source here. Anti-ICE protesters broke into an ICE facility in Portland. And so Portland had to admit that they are in fact riots, and everyone in Portland was let down because the protests got out of hand. And that's all our stories today. So this is the Pipeline Podcast. If you like this coverage and you want to see more, definitely subscribe. Also, if the YouTube's not enough for you, check out our Twitch. We do record all of these episodes live on Twitch. And so it's a much longer form, and you can kind of engage and share. If you have a nice story, share it in the chat or something, and we can maybe go over it. Also, we have the recaps of the full stream. So if you want to see an unedited version of this video, check out the Twitch for that. There's an email in our YouTube description if you have anything you want us to cover, a nice spicy conspiracy, or, a nice scoop, an inside scoop on something, or just a hot take. Send it our way. We might go over it. Could be fun. I'm always looking for new stories. Every Wednesday, we do a much longer form episode, about an hour long, and we kind of go over 4 just interesting stories. It could be anything, but 4-ish stories. Right now, this episode is a little different because we're covering current events, because these things are hot topic issues right now. But every Wednesday we'll go over just, whatever we find that looks interesting. We'll try to take a deep dive into these things. What I'm looking for right now is some really good alien stuff, but it's hard to come by the alien stuff right now. I haven't really seen anything major since the New Jersey drones. So if you got a good alien video, send it my way. We will go over it. That's what I'm looking for right now. I'd like to cover something extraterrestrial with next Wednesday's episode. Either way, have a great night. Stay safe if you're a politician in Minnesota. And if you're a protester and you don't like Trump and you see a Trump supporter, do not assault them or take away any of their rights. And then also to the gun-crazed Trump supporters, quit shooting people. Come on, what are you doing? Stop that. That's not fun. No one likes that. And have a great night.